In this video, we will solve LeetCode problem number 1855, maximum distance between a pair of values. In this problem, we are given two array nums1 and nums2. So we have to find a pair of indices I and j such that I is less than or equal to j and nums of 1 of I is always less than nums2 of j. So the distance is j minus I. We have to return the maximum distance of valid pair. Let's move to the intuition part. So my intuition is very simple. If we already knowing that these two array are sorted, that means all the value on the right side of the current index is always less than the current index value because this array is sorted. So if we calculated for I is equal to 0, here PTR is pointing to the index in nums2. So if for I is equal to 0, the index which is greater than the current index and have value greater than the current index value, so that is the index 1 because 100 is also greater than 55 and 60 is also greater than 55. So the maximum index which satisfying this condition is I is equal to 2. Then again we don't need to iterate again from 0 to the current index because we already knowing that here PTR. So if for the 55, if 60 is greater, that means if PTR is greater than the index which is on left side of the current index. Suppose if you want to find for the 30, if you know that for the 55 the index is 1, then for the 30 the PTR value also greater than 30 because it is greater than for its greater value. So we don't need to iterate again from I is equal to 0. We can reuse it. So that means our PTR will iterate only one times on the nums2. So we will reuse for the other indexes. Let's move to the code part. So we have a index I which is pointing to nums1 array and we have a pointer PTR which is pointing to nums2 and we will start I with 0 and j with 0, PTR also with 0. So because initially both are at 0, then what we will do, we will iterate from I is equal to 0 to I is less than n. What we will do, we will increment our index PTR until it is less than m, which is the size of nums2 array, and also the value of PTR, that is nums2 of PTR is greater than or equal to nums1 of I. Then we will increment our PTR because we will move to the next index, and also because this is the index which is satisfying the condition, so we will increment our answer, or we will take the maximum of the previous calculated distance and the current distance. So current distance will be PTR minus I because PTR is j which is pointing to the nums2 array and I is the nums1 array index. We will take the maximum of all those distances. So let's move to the C++ code. So in the code I am using pointer PTR which is pointing to nums2 array, and we are storing the size of nums1 array in n and the size of nums2 array in m, and we are starting answer with 0 because we have not any valid pair. So we are iterating from I is equal to 0 to I is less than n, and if the pointer value is satisfying the condition like nums2 of pointer is greater than nums1 of I, then we will increment our pointer, and also because this is the valid pair, then we will update our answer to answer is equal to maximum of answer comma ptr minus I, because ptr minus I is the distance. So at the end we will return our answer.